Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jayna. I'm a professional home organizer and licensed marriage and family therapist, where here I share home organizing tips and inspiration to help you get organized and have a clutter-free space and mind. But before we get started, go ahead and click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so that you can know every time I drop a new video. So today we are going to be talking about how you can gain more control of your home. So maybe you feel very overwhelmed, anxious in your home, and it's very cluttered, and you just don't know what to do and where to start. No worries. We are going to talk about how to gain more control, and I will be sharing 6 habits that you can start implementing to gain more control of your home. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so number 1 is frequently decluttering. So it doesn't matter what exactly the cause of the clutter is in your home, decluttering is the number 1 answer. We'll talk a little bit later about the different reasons why it might be cluttered and what you can do to start tackling that clutter. But the first thing we want to talk about is frequently decluttering. And so if you take a moment to think about all of the things that you accumulate over the span of a year. So everything that you buy for yourself, for anyone in your home, and any of the things that you are gifted, everything that comes into your home on a day-to-day basis, week to week, month to month, over the course of a year, that is a lot of stuff. And if you are bringing things in, but not getting into the habit of purging and allowing some things to go, over time, your home is going to be very cluttered. Now, if you never decluttered and you continue to bring in more and more year after year after year without going through that process of decluttering every once in a while, no wonder your home is going to be so cluttered. No wonder it's feeling like, you're kind of suffocating in it with all of the stuff that you're drowning in. And so when it comes to decluttering, I recommend doing a very deep, thorough declutter at least twice a year. So minimum of 2 times a year. It's always good to do more. But when I say like a big declutter, that means like going through every single room, putting your hands on everything and making those decisions about what you want to keep, what can be donated, and then what you can trash. And ultimately thinking about what purpose that item holds in your life currently. Is that something you're going to need in the future? And do you really have space for it? So if you don't have space for it, that's a good indicator that you don't need to keep it. Or if you have multiples of the item, you don't need to keep it. If it no longer means anything to you, you no longer need to keep it. So sometimes we get things from people and we hold on to them because we care about the person, or we might have feelings of guilt about, wanting to let it go because someone spent their time and their money to get this gift for you. And that is great. You can express your appreciation for that gift, but you don't hold any responsibility to keep it if you don't like it, if you don't want it, if you have no intentions of using it. It's just going to become clutter in your home. And so it's so important to frequently declutter, because you might find that there are many things in your home that serve no purpose, that are just there taking up space and is adding to this feeling that you have in your home that you are ready to get rid of. So the best way to get rid of and let go of those feelings that you have around your home is to let go some of that stuff and to break some of those associations that you have towards them that are holding you back from letting them go. Okay, so now that you have the habit of frequently decluttering, then you have to add on some additional habits to that to make sure that your home stays in an orderly fashion. And so the second thing that you want to do is to be selective about what you buy and keep. This is huge, and I'm probably going to say that about every single habit but this one really is very instrumental in making sure that you are being very intentional about what you have in your home and making sure that it doesn't get cluttered. And so this is so difficult because we live in a consumerist society where almost everything we see is like an advertisement or someone trying to sell us something. It's always trying to get our attention with how much we might need this, or how this product is going to change our life, or how nice this is going to look into our home, in our homes. And it doesn't help that we see all of these ads on TV and online, on social media, and we're getting these coupons in our inbox or in the mail. And it's like these companies are like giving us reasons to shop more, giving us reasons to feel like we need to have these things to kind of stay up with the latest trends or the latest fashion, all of that stuff. And let me tell you, it's a scam. It is a whole scam. It is not going to change your life. It's not going to make it any different for the long term. It's just temporary satisfaction. And then once you're kind of over it, you're going to find another reason to want to buy something else that you think is going to make you happy or make you feel better, when it really is not. And then if it's not something that we want for ourselves, we try to justify it by, oh, such and such would like this, or my mom would like this, or my sister would like this, or my husband might like this. It's like we're trying to find reasons why we need to buy that thing when ultimately we might not need it, or they might not need it. And that's not to say that we can't occasionally have moments of pleasure where you buy things just because you want them, or buy something for someone else just because you want to give them something. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying to completely squash all spending habits out of your life, just being very intentional with it so that you're not doing it in excess. So what does being selective actually look like? That means maybe taking a couple minutes before you buy something to really think about what function that is going to hold in your life. So, do I already have this item or something similar? If I do, am I going to get rid of the thing at home that I already have that's similar to it? Or maybe can I just keep this here at the store and not buy it because I already have something similar at home? If I do choose to buy it, do I have a plan for it? Where is it going to go? And why do I need it? Why do I need something similar? And maybe you can rationalize why you might need a similar item or a duplicate item. I'm not saying that you can never have duplicates or similar items in your home, but you need to have a very good reason why. Each of those things have to have its individual purpose and function in your home to where it makes sense for you to actually need to keep it. And then the next thing is you want to be very intentional about what you keep. So once something is already in your home, how long do I really need to keep it? Sometimes we think that just because we bought something or because we liked something at one point in time, that ties us down to that item forever and all eternity, and that could not be further from the truth. Just because you liked something last year when you bought it doesn't mean you're going to like it the next year. And if you don't like it, don't feel like you have to hold on to it because you bought it and, well, maybe my feelings will change. Maybe I'll need it in the future. Maybe this, maybe that. If you don't currently need that or foresee for sure that you're going to want to wear that item or use that item in the near future, go ahead and let it go. It can probably better serve someone else that might actually need that item than for you holding on to it with it not being used. And that's a good way to think about donating something and letting go of things. When you let it go, that doesn't mean that it's trash. That doesn't mean that it's useful. That doesn't mean that it has no purpose. It's just not currently serving you, but it might be able to serve somebody else if you let it go, if you sent it off to the Salvation Army, took it to Goodwill or to a consignment shop, allow somebody else the opportunity to find it and say, hey, that's exactly what I was looking for. Or, hey, I could really use that. Or, hey, I really like this. Let me go ahead and get this for myself or for such and such. Allow something that was once a joy to you that is no longer a joy to you, be a joy to somebody else. So moving right along, number 3 is ensuring that every item you own has a home. So I like to think about this like your own personal home. So where you live has an address, whether that's a house or it's an apartment, wherever you reside there is a physical location attached to that place. That is the same way you need to think about each of your items in your home. They need to have a physical location attached to them so that you know where to put those items, you know where to find them, and there's no confusion, there's no running around the house looking for that thing because you have made sure that it has a home, it has an address that you can attach it to. So one good tip to remember when you're looking around your home trying to find the home for each of your items is to think about where you're actually going to use that item. So you wouldn't want to store something in the living room that you're going to need to use in the bathroom. It makes sense to store it in the bathroom where it's going to be used. And likewise, you wouldn't want to store something in the kitchen that you're going to use in your bedroom. So when thinking about those homes, primarily think about where you're going to use that item and then make a location in that room or in that space its home. The next thing you want to think about is corralling all of the like items together to go to that home so that everything that is like that thing can be found in its home. The only time you might really want to separate like items is when the location where you would use them is going to be different. So think about cleaning products. I have some clients that like to keep all of their cleaning products together in one closet or under one sink, but then there are some to where they want to keep the bathroom cleaning items under the bathroom sink and maybe the kitchen cleaning items under the kitchen sink. That is completely fine because it makes sense and it's functional for them. So they know if I'm gonna clean the bathroom, I go under this cabinet in this bathroom. And if I wanna clean the kitchen, then I can be right in the kitchen, look under the kitchen sink and find all of those cleaning products there. So it makes sense for them and their family. Number 4, put things back. This requires discipline, discipline, discipline. So once you have ensured that everything in your home has its own little home, you have to have the discipline to put it back. So one thing that is good to have playing in your mind when you are using items is don't put it down, put it away. Don't put it down, put it away. Don't put it down, put it away. Unless you are one of those people that know that you are at some point going to get to it because you have a structured routine for how you keep your home uncluttered. If that is not you, my friend, you need to go ahead and immediately put it back. Why is that so important? Well, simply put, systems only work if you work them. So if you took the time to establish the system, you actually have to use it. So if it has a home, put it back into its home because that's the system that you have established to save you time, to save you energy later down the road when you're cleaning up your home, because cleaning your home is a lot easier when it's an organized home because you don't have to figure out, well, where am I supposed to put this as you're picking up stuff to vacuum or to sweep? It's like, well, where does this go? You know, I don't even know what this is. I've never seen this before, you know, how, and you just kind of throw it in a drawer or you throw it in the garage where everything seems to go and it just stays there, becoming clutter. And you do that over and over and over and over, and now your home is cluttered again because you're not using the system. So it is super important that you not only set up the system, but use the system. Okay, so number 5 is implementing routines to maintain the organization. So in order for a habit to remain a habit, you have to continue to put that habit into practice. So it has to become a part of your everyday life. So that's gonna look different for different people. That can be daily, as far as like maybe you get up 15 minutes early or 15 minutes before you go to bed, you're going around the home and getting all of those things done. Or that could look like just one day a week, dedicating an hour or two, and sometimes not even that. If your home is already organized, it will only take about 15 to 30 minutes to reset it, if you have created good systems. So finding whatever works for you. For me and my family, Saturdays are usually our reset days where we kind of clean the house and then making sure everything gets back to where it belongs so that we are refreshed and everything is ready to go for us in the upcoming week. I also do this with mail. So we get the mail almost every day, but when I bring it into the house, I usually just set it into the little mail holder that we have to deal with it at a later time. but I do set aside time, at least one day a week, to actually take it out of its holder and sort through it, throwing away anything that's junk, opening up the bills and addressing those, and then putting back anything that might need to be addressed at a later time. And so it might not be something that I'm doing daily, but I'm also not letting that clutter of mail pile up over and over week after week, because I have dedicated time throughout the week to address it. All right, last but certainly not least is to get all of the family members involved. Maintaining an organized home is so much easier when you have the support. And everyone in the house that creates clutter and brings in stuff should also hold the responsibility of making sure your home remains an orderly, peaceful, joyful place. So if you have kids, what that looks like is teaching them how to declutter, teaching them what the system is. So for my kids' playroom, there are different baskets that each thing goes in. So there's a basket for cars, there's a basket for dinosaurs, there's a basket for the baby dolls and the accessories. There is a particular home for each item. So when they are ready to clean up at the end of every day, because that's what me and my husband require, they know where to put things back. They're not just throwing things around, putting them wherever they want. And of course they're kids, so sometimes things do get out of place, or sometimes they are lazy and they just kind of throw things wherever they want. But for the most part, they are really good about identifying what item they have and where that home is and putting it there, so that when they are ready to play with it again, they know where to find it. It's not always, Mom, Dad, where's this, where's that? You are responsible just as much as we are for making sure that you're upkeeping your items and the things that you care about. It's something that you have to teach children if you have children, so that they know what structure looks like in a home. They can adopt those healthy habits so that they're healthy individuals living in a healthy environment when they grow up and have their own home and their own families or roommates. So I hope you were able to see how all of these habits to help you gain more control of your home all go hand in hand. So let's go ahead and review. The first thing you want to do is frequently declutter. Then you want to be selective about what you buy and keep. Once you've determined what you're going to keep, then you need to ensure that everything has a home. So setting up a system. Then when you have your system, make sure you use it by putting things back. Then you want to be able to maintain the organization that you have created by establishing routines. And then finally, you want to get everyone in the home involved. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found these tips to be helpful in your organizing journey. Please be sure to also share it with anyone else you think that might benefit from having these tips to help them gain more control of their home. If you have any questions or you have any ideas of things that you would like for me to post, be sure to put them below and I'll be sure to get to them as soon as possible. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.